Hello, I'm his Captain Mask. We're gonna cast a trios game that was submitted by Lab. I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think the team is Lab, Lynn, and See You Later. C, who's not actually from C. She just kind of fucked up her account. We've got, let's see, some Chicken Scratch, Mochidoki, and another name I did not get to read in time. We're going to pause and take a look at the map here. And it looks like we're going to have a number of teams on the map. So, over here we have Blade River King P, and Chicken Scratch, I Am Beast, FOOX, and Lucci in all lowercase. So, City of Wang wow, what is happening? It's flickering like crazy. City of Wang has two teams. This little place has Feel Emotions, that can't be me. Sky God King in all caps. This dude has played a fuck ton of quick match. I've had him in my team before. And another Chicken Scratch individual. Meanwhile, over here in this area of fucked up terrain, because LOL, we have Mimi Chan NNNN. We have Killa Track in all caps. We have Bad Baba. They have spawned over here and are one of two teams that spawned in Plume's asshole. Following that, we have Chicken Scratch C, Chicken Scratch, and Raw DZO. DZO is a dude I played against in Peng Lai. I feel like I am around his skill level, but it's hard to judge in Peng Lai because every time I tried to parry him, it did not work because my latency is bad enough without having to deal with Peng Lai. On top of it, I am looking here to see where the fuck the other teams are. We have HX, Smiling, Love, Uki, and Jarhead GR8 TV. Here's our group over here. Lab, Lynn, and indeed it is See You Later. So their team composition is the what is very likely to be V2 Tessa again. And who is on Justina? I'll be able to tell by the customization because Lab has a specific customization, although I think they both have shared their customizations. And but I know that she uses a different Justina. So let's head on down to City of Wang, where this group is going to encounter some individuals that are a little bit spread apart. It looks like there's just a series of people ping-ponging and getting fucked by double teaming in the process. It's kind of spread out a little bit back and forth. The dagger vertical actually getting a kill? That's crazy. That is crazy. Lucci does actually land quite a bit of damage even though it's great blades. Just getting a lot of blues in on those dual blades. The Tessa ult goes over there. This dude is going to go reset. Bot is on his lone. Ult not prepared yet, so kind of just delaying. Neither of them actually want to continue fighting. They actually disengage, interestingly enough. Very peculiar. Meanwhile, elsewhere in the map, there is the Plumed Asshole hot drop as well that we can take a look at. That would be a Raw DZO. He does play Justina. He has a Liam and a Tessa. The parry does not land. That parry does land, but he follows up with the horizontal on the GS. Kills someone instantly. But the dude is 2v2 at the moment. Bad Baba has been punished. Kill It Track, in all caps, does have a purple weapon. If he gets a parry or something here, he could do a lot with it, but he doesn't try to parry. He just dodges in the corner and unfortunately gets annihilated. One dude did not get revived. He revived himself, so his revive is down in case they have another fight early on. Of course, these dudes were fighting over there. Bot spawned on Sky God King. Meanwhile, we have over here the HX Chicken Scratch Smiling Group with Jarhead DR8. And I think the TV stands for Top Vietnam. It is probably a reference to Best Korea. The fighting in Wang continues with an instant parry. That was too far away, I believe. Oh. It's not getting in the jumps on his ultimate. He might actually get... Interesting interaction is the Shale Shield actually kills his disengaged charges, it looked like. Oof, he might be cooked. Ripple step. He was too far away for that parry, but he does get the blue into the shout. That does not turn into a combo though, and he goes down again. Ah, this parry. This parry. Looks like I Am Beast. F00 does not have his ultimate up quite yet. He will have it up in just a moment if he's able to survive long enough. The F did give a little bit of reset there, but they are getting cooked. The Shale has also died and given them a gold weapon from the looks of it. Now we are going to want to go back again because there's a lot of fighting on the map, and I kind of want to cover all of it because this could be an entertaining game. Looks like Rod, D, Zio, and Kogue head on down to Puzzle and are going to encounter some bots along the way here. That bot sasses him instantly and then starts running into the wall because toasters are like that. I'm guessing the toasters did not have blue armor, or he just does not give a shit. They're going to encounter the team that they killed in Plume Dazzle over here that have respawned to better gear, at least armor-wise. They definitely see them down there. Of course, they might hop on the ballista. That GS goes nowhere. White into white, yeah, that, okay, and now he's down here. Naraka, ladies and gentlemen, a multi-million-dollar game created in China. Extremely well-polished netcode. And that dude is dead to the burn damage instantly, because although they saw this guy go onto the ballista, they didn't do anything about it. They chose to fight in the middle where the puzzle is, and people are getting annihilated everywhere. That was a very, very easily avoidable death if they had just communicated and said ballista. Because they definitely saw that dude beeline past. Team Lab is actually heading down there to Plume Castle, having ratted out in the corner for a while. Meanwhile, I Am Beast F00X is taking the long route while Lucci has opted to respawn over here. The quest for bounty has failed. That is so sad, but it wasn't his quest and he didn't get any money for it. Meanwhile, speaking of ratting, the HX Smiling Group is taking the most scenic route possible in the entire map. They are going to be heading down this long, empty stretch of nothingness, power sliding where only a handful of piles spawn. This entire part of the map over here is just a dead, empty, vacant fucking wasteland. Meanwhile, in Lab & Co, they have encountered Raw DZio, who, having just fucked somebody with the ballista, will be aware that the ballista can fuck people's shit. This is Tessa V1. That is going to cause them some headaches because they got caught into it instantly and their initiation was reset. Everybody is taking a whole ton of damage. There is the V2 into the Kurumi ult that can get some resets. Although she's struggling to get up here, it will freeze them and delay them a little bit. The Liam ult is causing them some headaches, but they chose to fight on the... They chose to fight on the Kurumi ult, which did delay the fight a little bit, but they are still getting fucked nonetheless by the charm. The Rumi has been squished, and Lin is going to leave, abandoning her teammate to getting butchered instantly. Unbelievably cooked. Unbelievably cooked. That is so sad. They do have revives. They did have a few decent Jades, or at least the Flying Knives Gold Jade that we saw at the beginning of the match, I believe. No, that was someone else who had that pinged it. So... she escapes with Blazing Cringe Clone. She's also the proud owner of multiple dual blades, but her inventory doesn't really have too much in it. Meanwhile, Lucci & Co, having already suffered a very, very traumatic experience within Wang City, have also come down to Puzzle. We'll see that Puzzle has not been done. We'll think, huh, these noobs don't do Puzzle. Let's go do Puzzle. Now, Yang is up, and you do face the challenge of, do we want to do Puzzle and possibly get red armor, or do we want to do Yang? Very oddly enough, they are not going to have anything to do with Puzzle whatsoever. They're going to head down here, and that will, in fact, likely lead to Lucci & Co taking the Puzzle if they want to. The one person does have a Tessa ult indicator on them that is empty. That is an extremely silly and extremely easily avoidable bug if only 24 Entertainment had tried to give a shit. Now, they're going to go ahead to head down to the revival. I Am Beast FO0X could do Puzzle. In the meantime, it looks like that is what this Volta is going to be doing as Lin heads down here and everybody revives over here. This is going to lead to a fateful encounter of the Rats versus the Raw DZio team that has killed much of the lobby thus far. There is some shooting going on. Raw DZio gets absolutely fucked by that blue, gets fucked by blue again, unable to take advantage of that parry, but that second parry gets a little bit of a double tap there. Oh, it's Yodo, LOL. Yodo almost dies to a greatsword, but there was an escape. There is a lot of rolling around. Raw DZio's team is hurting a lot, except for the Tessa. They do manage to kill somebody. There is a Takeda ultimate that brings them very low, but nobody's dead yet. A little bit of Cavalry Bloom into a combo on her. Ooh. It must be nice having frames. Wouldn't be me. And the Rats are put to euthanasia. No longer are they going to be able to rat. They're going to have to actually participate in the map at some point in time. There is another Yang fight going on. We can take a quick look at here, which is the Sky God King team that we have not seen anything of for quite a while. So we will have a look and see how their match is going. At the P, spacebar, M. To pause it, bring up the teams. And that, my friend, is a pain in the ass. So we haven't really seen anything from these guys. Let's see how their match goes. So we will head back to the beginning here because it looks like that this started a little bit sooner. They entered the Yang portal a little bit sooner. So they're up against a Justina Tessa Tumulch. That is kind of a scary composition. That's definitely an ugly one. Just kind of walked into it and got fucked. If I remember, this Mochidoki is very, very difficult to parry due to high or low ping. There is some resets coming from the Tumulch, which has farted onto this Kylan, who then ulted into the ult of Tumulch and basically has gotten no mileage out of his own ult whatsoever. Meanwhile, the Feria has taken a ton of damage and has not been able to get back into her ult until Cavalry Bloom allows for her to clear. There's a lot of running around back and forth. The other team is still looking to be pretty healthy, kind of just going between people. Not really comboing them, but nonetheless getting damage on them. Ooh, a little combo there from the Dragonlight Might. That does take some much needed armor off their team. Explosive armor saves them from a possible death, but there was a parry in the middle of that. Now they're very low. The Fairy is just shooting at them, finishing them off. Fairy's ult comes to an end, and Mochidoki is destroyed. So it looked like Sky God's team was getting fucked early on. That tumult caused them a lot of headaches, but ultimately they pulled it together, and the other team's weaker neutrals and inability to finish off the Fairy despite their investment cost them that fight. So Lab and friends are going to be ratting some more because they don't really have anything, whereas the Lavauki Jarhead.gr8 top Vietnam team is heading back down to Plumed Asshole, which of course has been sucked dry, completely sucked dry through a garden hose. There's nothing over there. The Lucci team has revived their team member. They have not done puzzle. The Volda went down there, and they never did puzzle at all. They have no idea how to do it. Yeah, it's very possible someone on their team knows how to do it, but yeah. The Volda did not. So there's going to be an encounter over here, as this particular chicken scratch team is about to run into them. And he's looking at this Ripple Step. He's got Ripple Step Aurora Burst. He doesn't have a Hang Sword for it, though. Or a Hong Sword, as it is called, I believe. This Tessa has decided to solo their team. Very brave. Very, very brave. And she dies. She did have the ult, or the buff, rather. And Raw DZO, of course, just kind of wipes his ass with these guys. The Shale is getting fucked here. I think the Shale may be their strongest member, but she is grossly outgeared, and Raw DZO's team is not dead. She does get in the armor swap. She does use her ult. I don't think she had her ult until this point. There's some shooting going on as they're trying to navigate this. They're just using the swarm. Not the best weapon here, but they are slowly chiseling her down. You can just send in a sacrificial person to take the ult. But don't stand next to her because she does damage around her, and you can see that she did actually a very substantial amount of damage, in spite of the fact that she's pretty fucked otherwise. At that point, you just gotta trust and release the pull sword. Another team bites the dust. Sky God King and friends have been fighting down here. They have been fighting. Let's go back here and take a look at that fight. We're starting to get to the terminus of goofiness in this game. So Sky God King and friends, looks like they picked up the challenger at this point, or the team that was in Yang City picked it up. Yeah, it wasn't them. It was the Mochidoki team here that picked it up. So that's going to draw everybody to them, as Lab and Co are still over there picking up loot at the moment. So there is a Bane that shows up here. Looks like that's going to be the challenger team that's going to be using the Bane. That was not turning into a combo. Tessa didn't get a lot of mileage out of that, but she did get a nice ult lined up that led into Tumulch. Will form hook. Does not land. The Bane starts up. Everybody is kind of spread out a little bit all over the place. Isn't there a really good case for the Takeda dies with his ult still up. Sky God King does get some nice damage in at this point. Gets win 1 kill. Almost gets the second one immediately. He definitely wants to heal at this point. He maybe is spending too much too much time running around. The other player does die. So even though they're taking a few risks there, and the Takeda didn't really contribute that much to that fight, they ultimately destroy them. Sky God King pulling out the necessary cavalry bloom spam. The other group here considered coming down there to the Challenger, but the Challenger died, and they have opted to not go over there and instead are coming down here. That is the Jarhead.GR8 Top Vietnam group. Sitting on Yang Depletion and about to die a miserable, lonely death in the middle of buttfuck nowhere. They're going to head over to this thing and take a look at it. I don't think that capping it gives you Yang, but, or Soul Bloom, but maybe they can cap it and then promptly die. It's so sad. It is a story actually sadder than the Teletubbies. So meanwhile, Lab's company has, well, they've mannered up. She's missing a Jade, but they have 2 gold armor. The Tessa is half dead. They're coming down here to contest this as some fighting has already begun between Ra D Zio's group and the Sky God King group. Oh, a little bit of a poke there. It does manage to tickle him. Fairy, I can just stand on there. She was thinking a long time if she wanted to actually do something about that. Meanwhile, the fighting has progressed over to Lab. And Lin is extremely separated. She is very, very out of position here. And she is getting fucked left and right as the Chinese music plays for Kylan, just very briefly. He just put on his boombox for a moment. She can kind of poke in here. Sky God King could have decided to initiate on her, but went back to his team. Meanwhile, the Justina combination with the Kurumi ult there kind of forces them to disengage. Lab is looking pretty squished right now, but nobody's really like committed to them yet because everybody's scurrying around. That Furia's ult will surely end someday. Meanwhile, a dude has died as Lin just continues to poke with the flying blades. Nobody has parried her. Nobody has engaged on her. Even though, by all rights, she should probably have died a long time ago. Lab is tanking. Kurumi is the #1 position in a team composition. And anybody who says otherwise is probably not playing Kurumi correctly. Obviously, Justina is the #3 position here. They have allowed them to take the point. Everybody has kind of like disengaged and run away. Or died, as is often the case. Ra D Zio is one of the last players still alive, but he gets the parry finally. Finally, somebody parries the flying knives. It took until the ex-NBPL god himself, Ra D's Nuts Zio, to parry this highly aggressive Justina before he is given the rod and slapped to death at long last. At long last, his rampage comes to an end. Let's see how that goofy engagement looked from his perspective, because there was a lot of shit going on in that fight. Sky God King showing mercy to Lin, refusing to squish the cat. May be one of the deciding things of this game. This fight went on for quite a while, actually. Committing to the fight on the point is what will make or break most games. He's got Cloud Weaver, but you know, other than the Jades he's got, his inventory is not even really looking particularly amazing in terms of weapons. He's got the 2 dual blades and he's using a gray cannon. Comes here to try to peel for his Tessa. The Liam is kind of in his own business. Meanwhile, he's stuck on his own, trying to navigate this. The Sky God does not chase him. They go back to peel. This is where a unruly Rumi is encountered. And see you later, see? Just heads on down there and immediately runs off to get buried. There's just Tessas everywhere. People are just kind of like scurrying around, not really finishing each other off, just checking out the point. Trying to get that fairy off of it in particular. Meanwhile, this is where Lab almost dies. Oh, that parry. Oh, but nothing comes of it. It's just... this. I felt like there's 2 or 3 Tessa Fs in there that just knocked everybody away. And that is very possibly what saved Lab's life. Sky God King is fucking annihilated. Raw D's nuts Zeo put him on his deck and twisted him around like a fucking dreidel. Nefaria down to the very end. Raw D Zeo almost dying a second time to that comp. But escaping once again, just always barely by the skin of his scrotum. It feels like we never see where that Liam is. He dies on the opposite side of the battlefield from Raw D's nuts Zeo. And he heads back out to bully this Rumi again. This Rumi is very, very uncouth. Does not 1, 2, 3. Gets heckled. Retreats back to the Tessa that is over here. Tessa that chooses to go in against an enemy team with no armor. Very brave. Very, very brave. Incidentally, she is going to get fucked for the effort. There is Tessa on Tessa violence. I missed that particular interaction. There's the parry. Finally putting down this very, 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 very aggravating Justina. Oh, and then he gets hit by the Tessa V2. Tessa V2. Oh, and then Lab gives him a shaft. D's nuts Zeo absolutely punked. Absolutely annihilated. Just butchered. It's so sad. So very, very sad. But it happens. It happens. There's so much that goes on in that fight. I love that the Liam is just kind of in his own little world. Raw D's nuts Zeo is at 13 kills. He actually has the highest kills in the game. In large part because he's just kind of like fed off of all those early fights. Lab has got Cyan Fang. His gear is like he's got the armor and he's got Jades, but he doesn't even have a purple weapon. His damage is going to be kind of hot garbage. Other than the Blazing Cringe clone is going to do a lot of damage just to the burn, as long as he can land it. And you can just kind of throw that blue out because it's so fucking hard to parry. But when you got like 2 or 3 other teams in front of you, it can be a little risky. Everybody kind of did like their own little thing. Lin kind of just like ran off over there somewhere. Lab was getting pounded all over the place. Feel emotions. Trying to feel something in his life, diving into the middle of that ring. Instantly punked by the pull sword. This is where the Liam was. The Liam saw this Rumi and he was like, I gotta have that Rumi. I gotta have that Rumi. His F gets blown and he decided to go back in until Tessa whacked him. And now that she has no escape, only then does he decide to leave. So Lab is forced to kind of like heal back, and Lin is just again on the opposite side. Oh, that grab. Dude, that grab was psychotic. Looks like Lab should just straight up fucking die here. That Tessa ult should have hit him, but he got pushed back by the Willform hook. That's the only reason it did not hit him. There's... And he gets purple dual blades out of it. They're just there, just for him to pick up. Dude, the Takeda copped a feel and then fucked off. Now they finally regroup. People are just running around everywhere. The Feria draws a lot of hate from them. Just the Feria sitting on it meant they never followed up to repressure Lab's group after that point, allowing them to completely reset. Now they're all healthy again. The Liam is finally put down. I think that's actually Raw D's Nuts Zio's dual blades that were contributed to Lab, isn't it? That's the same skin anyways. There's like a bunch of bodies here, but we only see the effects for some of them. So they have all their own loot. You can see Lab like cashes in. He finally fills his inventory. He picks up Ripple Step and everything associated with it. So with Raw, D's Nuts, Zio, and his group. Oh, I see. Lab actually went for a parry there, but there he got punked. And he delivered the shaft. He's got jabbing with a gold staff. The last teams in the map is the Sky God King Feel Emotions Chicken Scratch team, which, while they haven't had as much success as some of the other teams, they have won fights, they have pulled out of difficult circumstances, but they have a tough fight ahead of them with 2 gray armor and no jades, having been butchered by that fight. See You Later, see, now has a gold bane. I don't know if they bought it or if they inherited it or whatever, but she has it. And they get all the loot from that fight, so they finally got the weapons to complement their armor. And yeah, Lab will now be doing a lot of damage. Bodyguard is put up. A team Sky God King does not want to engage them. They want to delay as hard as possible, but they've got a tough fight ahead of them. The composition that they're running is very weird. They feel like a burst composition with the Takeda and the Kylan, but they don't have a way to control people and get them together so that they can exceed. The Feria does not really synergize that well with them, I feel like. On the other hand, Feria's ult can bail people out of bad situations, and they did get fucked by a Tumulch and they managed to pull out of that fight. So if they can get some gear going and get some jades preferably, maybe they stand a chance. They're definitely working up from scratch. So Wang City has been slurped long ago. There's hardly anything over here. They're basically forced to fight Yang. And they're doing it with a gray armor Kylan that has basically no jades of any kind. So, in fact, even his consumables are really bad. He's got 2 grapples. They are in trouble. They are actually in trouble. The Bane was used over there on Sky God King's group, but it was used too late. It should have been used earlier than that. They just kind of went in the portal. The names disappear if the camera goes in the ground. Inconsistently. Nope, they just went out of render range is what happened. Oh, oh my god. Feria sits in her Gundam. Lab took a lot of damage from that. That was a fucking telepathic jabbing if I ever saw one. This dude is gonna get fucking juggled. He's gonna feel no emotion, but he will feel a roomie up his ass. Lab takes a lot of damage from that Feria, but Feria's the only one really doing damage at this point. Takeda does get his ult off, but he's working out from nothing. Oh, Will Form Hook does trigger in Lab. Lab dies. Lab is dead. It's 2v2. Lin gets off that flying knives thing, which does a lot of fucking damage. Oh, parried. It is a V2 Tessa that does interrupt her and stop her momentum, but she still gets another parry. Another Willform Hook goes out. See you later. C is dead. It is Lyn versus the Feria. Lyn is very, very healthy. Oh, the Aurora Burst. She got so many good parries throughout the fight. But the Aurora Burst, she parried way too early and got fucked. She got fucked. She got butt fucked. So that leaves the final encounter. Sky God King and Co. can grab this Moru's Blessing if they're very quick about it. It's their chance to even the odds, but their movement is going to be telegraphed, and they're kind of just all over the place instead of working as a team at the stage, allowing See You Later C to casually walk over and pick up the gold armor. There's a gold flamethrower there that she should pick up and take. There you go. There you go. Lab is stuck in the air, floating, doing a squat. Oh, okay. All right. Okay. Lab possessed by the Holy Spirit. The other team may be choosing to rat and try to time out this thing here. Perhaps they're communicating to each other emotionally, holding each other's hands, giving each other, you know, pats on the back, you know, very sportsmanlike conversation as they contemplate how to pull themselves out of this difficult situation. They have 2.5 minutes and rapidly dwindling duration left on their Wang depletion as they contemplate what they're going to do. I'm going to be honest, I don't know why people do this at all. Like, you are fucked. You may as well get it over with. You may as well get it over with. And preferably before the enemy comp is spamming shit on top of the revive point, that's going to make it even harder for you to get out. Finally, Kylan is able to get some mileage out of his ultimate. That will interrupt him, but the freeze is what really fucks him over at that point. And he is cooked. Oh! That parry? That parry? Feria with the gray armor. Putting up the last of the fight, gets another parry in. Lab takes a lot of damage from that. They are gold halberds. Willform Hook. I have never seen Willform Hook used so effectively as that Feria was managing to get it off over and over and over again. And that ends in a win for Lab's team. But I mean, if they had immediately revived and Feria had picked up the gold armor, there's a chance that they actually managed to win this, I think. They chose to wait for so fucking long, ceding the gold Moru's Blessing for no particular reason. I don't understand why they do. Like, you're gonna have to revive into the fucking shit eventually. You may as well just do it before they're on top of it and they're all waiting for you. So, good game. The trios, definitely very tough composition. Raw, D's Nuts, Zio still ends the game with the highest kills. Well, then again, we know this kill counter is kind of fucked, right? Like, they definitely have way more than 3 kills combined. But he killed a lot of players early in the match. He did pretty well during the actual fighting. Team Sky God King also managing to pull out some unexpected victories as well. The Mochidoki team got bullied inside their own bane. And the Lucci team was, well, at least they stole our hearts, right?